Hey there, Sagittarius. Let's do a love tarot card reading for you to check in to the energies that you're going to be dealing with leading up to Valentine's Day. Oh, I like this. I'm going to be looking at this for those of you who are in and out of a relationship and breaking this up into as many different areas as I can. And that way we can kind of go over those of you who are perhaps in the friend zone or single and not even interested in someone, looking to date, and those of you who are actively in a relationship or perhaps separated from a relationship. We'll talk about all of those different areas. Okay, so the first thing that I see here, we've got the World card and we have an Ace of Pentacles. So the energies leading up to Valentine's Day are talking about a new cycle that's beginning for you guys. The World card is the card of ending something in the past. So you may have found that you came to a leveling up experience in a relationship, but that could have involved ending something in order to get to a next phase. For others of you, this is a full-blown separation. And for some of you still, that the ending phase might have been the ending of a part of your life that you were dealing with, and now you have decided to go forward to a new opportunity, such as something that you value, perhaps your career, your lifestyle. But for some of you, the thing that you value is love. So you may be fully aware that you are entering into a new phase in love. Maybe you are considering dating, and you finally said to yourself, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm not just going to ignore the possibilities of love. And therefore you end up going forward on the path of a new opportunity. I think it's interesting that some of the dynamics that you have showing up here talk about a stubborn quality. This could be a quality coming from you, but it could also be a kind of stubborn energy that's coming from a person that you were dealing with. I think it might be a little bit of both, because we have two cards here. Both of them are kind of detailing this almost not walled up energy. It's not like something is blocking you, but it's like you or your person are blocking themselves. Looking at the Four of Cups, again, there's no wall involved in the Four of Cups. They just make a decision to kind of stay stuck in one energy. You may have been in that dynamic where you were allowing yourself to kind of just sit like a lump on a log and not necessarily go forward to gaining the kind of love and desires that you want. Or that could be your person, very stubborn energy, almost apathetic. And the alternative with the Two of Swords, this is somebody who tries to protect, but they're protecting from what they can't see. So again, there's no wall here. There's no physical boundary. There's no straps around this person's arm. But yet they are sitting in one position, right? Sitting in one position, frozen, almost like they think that there's something in front of them to be afraid of. See the blindfold? But they can't see anything that they're afraid of, because the blindfold is on. So they're protecting themselves from things that are unknown in the future. One of the things that you may be protecting yourself from with the Eight of Pentacles in the reversal, this is the card of making sure that you're not getting used. Eight of Pentacles is a card of usury and exploitation. So there may have been a situation in the past where you felt downright manipulated or were the subject of somebody's exploitative behaviors, or just flat out greed and selfishness, although exploitation is pretty heavy. Like, actual exploitation is as far selfish as you can go. Whereas basic greed and selfishness, like selfishness for one day there's a date, the person was a little bit greedy on that date. There's varying levels of greed, right? There's a little bit of greed, and then there's exploitation. With that Eight of Pentacles, you could have dealt with somebody in the past who typically had an exploitative energy. It's no wonder you would be in a position of, in this Valentine's Day area, protecting yourself. But again, this is at the first energy, the past kind of dynamics of the reading. I'm interested in that, the future dynamics, your new venture, your new leveling up concept here. Let me kind of center this. I'm going to put these cards back in, and I want to ask, what's this new path? What is this new great opportunity for, by the way? Security and stability. Is this about a person? Is this somebody coming back? Is there communication involved? Page of Swords is the card of the assassin. When I say assassin, he's the spy. If you know anything about medieval history, the Page of Swords is a card connected to the page that would do the duties of the king to go and spy and gather information. So there may be a new opportunity that you have with someone that you've had your eye on. But if you've been wondering if somebody has had their eye on you, then the Page of Swords is here to say, yes, there could be somebody who's got their eye on you in the future that you might have a new opportunity with that particular person. Now, this Hierophant card can, in the reversal position, talk about lack of commitment at this point. I mean, that does make sense because it's a new opportunity. When you have the Ace, as you can see, there's no feet on the ground. This is an opportunity that's presenting itself, and then later on things can turn into more of a thorough commitment energy. In the reversal position, that's not quite yet. That's not leading up to Valentine's Day where you're going to have some kind of a commitment come through. But again, the initial steps are being taken at this point in time. Later on, this Hierophant can certainly go in the upright position to get you to that level. And I'm going to ask about that because I'm curious too. I'm going to keep going, guys. You know me. When it's I think of things, my intuition flies, and I get curious. Oh, that's great. Oh, I love it. Yeah, see, I thought so. Ooh, okay. So if I was to rhyme these cards off with one sentence each to give a theme for each of them, there is communication that's going to be coming in that's very triumphant, where somebody communicates not just with intelligence, but leading from their heart because they've previously been indecisive about a situation that needed some balancing out because there was an unjust energy in your past. How's that for one sentence for each card? The Ace of Swords, again, is crowning communication that you'll be expecting leading up to Valentine's Day. Because that's the area I'm asking about. If I'm talking to spirit guides or anything like that, which I consider my higher self, a lot of people do spirit guides. I'm sure they're kicking around, but I just say, hey, higher self, hey, universe, what's up with the energy from Valentine's Day? And it's giving communication. But with the crowned victory, it's giving victorious triumph. The Fool card is the one who leads with their heart instead of being afraid of what's potentially in front. Like the woman who had the blindfold on in the Two of Swords, this person is willing to take a risk. So for some of you, if your person has been hella indecisive, they're probably going to communicate about how they're ready to take a risk. And that risk, my dears, looks like it very well could be you. Now, it's not to say that you are a risk, but it's like this person with their indecision was thinking it was too risky to follow their heart. Oh my goodness. And if it's not you specifically that they found was risky to jump towards, perhaps with that Ace of Pentacles, it is some kind of an opportunity or a path that they wanted to take with you that they are now willing to move forward into. When the Seven of Cups is in the reversal, by the way, that is the card of willpower and determination to follow their heart. And for those of you who had an unjust situation in the past with this person, the things are balancing out at this point to bring things to a fair and balanced power dynamic. Rectifying old situations, you can say, even with the Justice card here. One last thing to say. Because the Fool does denote new, and the Ace of Swords denotes new, then I'm telling you, for those of you who are interested in dating someone, it might not be that there's just somebody from your past who's coming to knock on your door. Although with that being said, Mercury retrograde is upon us, okay? Within days. We're just about there. But leading up to Valentine's Day, you could find that there's some kind of new communications, victorious communications, ones that really feel good in the realms of dating that you happen to trigger with a person that helps to quell some of the indecision that you have had about stepping forward into the world of dating. And in doing that, you bring a little bit of justice and balance to your own self. It's really lovely when you look at the Fool card in any reading because it insinuates that you are leading, or your person is leading with your heart. Remember again that Two of Swords energy that we saw earlier. That person was blindfolded, willing to protect themselves at all costs, lest they have their heart broken again. In fact, their arms were covering their chest because they were protecting their heart. But when you protect your heart too much, then your heart doesn't necessarily get the opportunity to bud and blossom forward into the position it wants to, which is to lead you. Your heart acts as a compass. That's where your intuition is centered at, between your gut and your heart, biologically and spiritually, whichever way you want to look at it. That gut intuition is meant to be used appropriately, but it cannot be used if we are sitting around in hesitation, fight, flight, and freeze response, protecting ourselves from things that may never happen based on hurtful circumstances that we may have experienced in the past. And so the Fool card says that leading out into this time frame up to Valentine's Day, your heart area will start to lead the dynamic between you, or between you and or between you and the person that you're dealing with. I'm going to leave you off with that, my dears. Thank you very much for joining me in this reading. Many blessings to you. And if you are interested in a private reading, feel free to let me know. My information is in the link in the description and at the link in my biography. I will talk to you later, and ciao for now.